Hey guys, how's it going? Chris back here again with another MTGA video. Today we're actually going to be working on a standard brew. One of my favorite cards from New Capenna was Jetmir. And the reason I liked Jetmir is because he's kind of a pseudo Crater Huff, right? Like if you look at his abilities, he's going to give everything +3/+3 and double strike. At the end of the day, that's where you end up. And that's a pretty good thing. Like, it'll end a game very, very quickly. The downside is, like, unless you have a board, he does nothing when he comes down, right? And you want him to do something. We're going to open on King Darien. We're up against a black opponent, so chances are more than likely that, yeah. Blue-black, they have a removal spell, right? Against this kind of match, it really... our king canceled, right? The king and queen, they can get canceled. What can't get canceled is a Rebel Boy, because if our Rebel Boy gets canceled, we're not going to win. I don't think there's a 1-mana creature spell. 1-mana counter spell for creatures at the moment. Yeah, we'll take that one. So, Roko, I feel like has a place in this deck, right? I don't know if he does. He should. Let's get rid of a enchantment. I don't see any reason. Okay, sure, why not? There's not really a big reason to protect the Meat Hook Massacre when it's on the board, right? Because it's just for life gain and life loss. It's not going to win the game. Effect? Choose a creature. Well, that sucks. Creature or planeswalker. How much do you cost? You cost 5. So I gotta sacrifice 2, unfortunately. So that just gets rid of the reanimation. They can't take the rights. So... shame that we didn't hit. Well, we couldn't really hit anything anyways. Rite of Harmony's in the deck because it synergizes really well with the I'd like to draw another land, because if I draw another land, I can actually Roko for something useful, right? But at the moment, we're not really able to do that. So the plan is to get a creature or a spell that makes 2 tokens, and then Rite of Harmony, and then cast that spell, right? So Roboco, when he gets on the battlefield, he's just an attacker. Like there's no additional point of him, because ideally after you cast a Roboco, you want to cast the next Roboco. It's not even not Robico. It's Roko. Must have been watching too much YouTube. And we're dead again. I guess Arati is kind of same, right? Kind of the same. When you cast him, you're kind of done with him. It's a shame that we have so many decent enter the battlefield abilities and not a lot of ways to abuse them. So you're 4. I played a lot with this deck. It's not great at the moment. Like, it's getting better. I am improving it as I go along, but it's not great at the moment. They went for 2 first. That's a meat hook massacre right there. Yeah, that's a meat hook massacre. Meat hook massacre for 1, I bet. Yeah. Sayonara board. Alright, I can actually Jetmir for 4. Which is what we want to do. Why did I only have 2 in the deck? I should have... Oh, well, yeah. I cut it down to 3 to put in more card draw. That's right. So they get back Arati, they kill Jetmir, and we're sad again. That's how I imagine this goes. If we get 9 mana, we can draw 2 cards, which is not the going rate for 2 cards at the moment. There's some odd sequencing going on here. Heavy monkey hammer. Drummer. It's a bit like the... Ooh, God, that's rough. It's very interesting, the path that we're taking in this fight. It's a bit like the... It's a bit like the fight from Revenge of the Sith. That's really, really cool at the end. Where... I should probably just cycle away this land. 8 damage. What I like to see. And then we'll keep up our removal spell, just in case. We probably won't need it, but... Yeah, it's the one weird section in the control room where Obi-Wan and Anakin are just swinging their lightsabers around themselves, but it's not touching each other. It's a bit like that. Like we're doing things and it's cool, but it's not progress, you know? It's not progress. Maybe the not the Robocop. God, I've been playing too much Holoc here. Maybe the Roko deck is, maybe it's not a Jetmir build, right? Maybe that's the issue that we're running into, and that you shouldn't be So that was all of our Jetmirs. I think we lose from here, right? We can still, like, King Darien, Catilda victory, but that's harder and slower. And considering... Well, let's walk into the raft. Right, I should have drawn cards. I just kind of wanted to replace the damage I lost, right? That was my immediate smooth brain thought, that we lost 5 damage, we need to get more power. But it turns out that doesn't work. Hey, the forest is safe now. We're good. Our opponent has played 3 Meat Hook Massacres, right? So I feel as though it's probably limited into how many more they could possess. Like, they can't have all of the Meat Hook Massacres, right? Like, there's a line in the sand, and after that point, you can't have any more. And that number is 4, and we've seen 3. So, did I exile? Have we only seen 2? Man, you are good at gaining life. You should be proud of yourself. Okay. We'll do it right this time. We're still making ground, right? It's just that the next... So they probably got the last Meat Hook Massacre, or the next Meat Hook Massacre. I only actually saw 1 in the graveyard, so I'm guessing we only had 2. So we're not gonna play anything. We're gonna pay 5. Submit 0. Get rid of this. No reanimation. Swing, and then use Catilda to set up our next turn, right? Because we are slowly getting there. 3, okay. They must have thought I had something. They're countering join the dance. Rude. Catilda? This might be it. Do they have instant speed reanimation? They're looking through their graveyard. Oh, DV's cover up. Yeah, that makes sense. So we're dead in the water. When we're this dead in the water, I just take a turn count. We don't draw something quickly, we just scoop. But I found the one other opponent in all of Magic the Gathering Arena that has not got a win condition. They're just playing as hard of control as they can. Heavy Monkey Drummer. You know, I enjoy a longer game. I really do enjoy a longer game. I don't like games where I play 3 spells and the game is over. In this game, like, our opponent has been stopping us from playing spells, but there haven't been... Like, we did do things, right? It's the Meat Hook Massacre at the end of the day that stopped things from happening. I just paid 6 mana for 4 power. Hey, there it is. Last one. How many join the dances have I gone through? I've gone through only 3, so join the dance technically wins. Join the Dance has out-survived Meat Hook Massacres. What is our bro's win condition, right? I'm really curious about his deck now because it seems really cool. Like, they're running Rafine's Tower, which isn't always an indicator of what colors they're playing, so they look like they're just Jetmir. And if they're just a Jetmir deck, like, I can respect that. So we're continuing to play one land a turn because if we can... We're going to have to start saving up cards eventually. They've already started saving up cards. Right, they shuffled it back in. We did not survive the Meat Hook Massacres. Hey, Darian. Army in a can. And he gets countered. Well, that's rude. So their end step, we're going to make a token. 2. I sacrificed him. Damn it. Wrong ability. Well, that did not work out well. I think I'm going to concede here. I think our control player has demonstrated that they have won the game. Which is sad. We had a very promising start. This is only game 1, though, so it's not like it's going to be our last game. And like I said, our deck does need more refining, right? Because it is a concept, not necessarily like a full deck yet. It's a full deck, like it functions on Arena, but in order to be competitive, it needs more work. So this is kind of the planned starter, right? You have Pegasus, green-white. I'm actually well, I can't do it now. I accidentally played the mountain. So one of the downsides of having a really cost-intensive deck, because our cards are cost-intensive. Like, the majority of them are Selesnya. And, we did not play 2 creatures this turn, so we do not get to draw a card. We will next turn, though. We actually should have went with a Eula here. That's cost us damage, but it also, I'm not too broken up about it. Like, there's some really interesting cards in Standard that are just kind of pushed out of the meta because of how good black is. Like, this guess this is what we have to do. I would keep that one. Thank you, game. Sorry. That was just all kinds of bad. I need to be careful with the auto tapper. Sorry, opponent. Minor spill. Harmonic Weaver. A run on the old humans deck, basically. It's Join the Dance, Catilda. That kind of deck can't stand on its own. Let's save our tokens. It means we take a lot of damage, but it also means we don't lose a bunch of blockers. 0, please. Actually, we should probably get rid of something. Probably one of our queens because she's redundant. And then we can play a queen. I mean, Michiko's Reign of Truth is still a problem, right? I mean, Wizard's design is sometimes a little nonsensical, right? Like, Michiko's Reign of Truth is 2 mana for an effect that we saw previously on a 2 mana enchantment, right? And on the 2 mana enchantment, it was insanely good. So then to again just see it on a saga, uncommon saga. I don't know how well the power scaling is there, you know? Adding Resolute Enforcements to the deck was a really good addition, though. Like that's a plus. It was not originally in the build. We survived like the 2 big hit turns, right? But our opponent is insanely high in mana, and they still have the insane big hits, right? Because Portrait of Mirko. I'm not sure our Jank is gonna survive. I think our Jank might be dead. There's gotta be a better way to do this. I don't know, Standard recently feels like a puzzle. That's, it feels like it's a puzzle because it feels like there's a combination of cards that can do something really crazy. And I just haven't found it yet. And I'm not sure it's going to be found anytime soon. Like, I feel like with the way Mono Black is, initially I kind of felt like it was a bit problematic. Alright, you gonna take my 3-1? Sure. One of the funniest things about this deck is that you have you tend to play against decks that are so removal heavy. Oh my god, that is gross. Weaver of Harmony, you are gross. Yeah, maybe like full stop control is the answer. But then it kind of just dies to underdog, tenacious underdog. Yeah, he kind of just kills it. And that's kind of just sad. Hey, there's a Jetmir. We're gonna die before Jetmir becomes relevant, but yeah, initially I kind of thought that the dominance of black in standard was gonna be like a bad thing for the format, but now I'm more worried that when or if black gets taken away, it's just gonna lose something worse, right? Because I've been through standard seasons where there is just one definitive dominant deck. And, take 5. Yeah, that's good. And the end result of getting rid of the dominant deck is that just another dominant deck approaches, right? And I don't think this standard is as powerful as previous standards where that was the case, but at the same time, we don't have enough mana. That's very sad. I feel like there is enough powerful and interesting cards that it actually could just be the case where you knock the head off the Hydra and 2 more take its place, right? We're going to go on to game 3. And I feel like that's not always a bad thing for standard to be in that kind of position, because then you have actually powerful cards in standard and you can do actually interesting things, but at the same time, it's kind of what makes it not fun a lot of the times when it's that messed up. So this is a decent hand for what we want to do. We would like more lands. And I would like to actually win a deck, or win a match. Like, if we could actually show off what the deck's supposed to do once, that could be pretty cool. Spirited Companion. It's very sad to see Spirited Companion, because it's just a 1/1 that draws a card, right? It's 2 mana for a card. That's not good. Not good at all. But I guess that's what we're going for these days, right? Plus he's an enchantment, which synergizes with the enchantment decks, and like, he's Elvish Visionary, but he's slightly he's probably a lot better actually, because Elvish Visionary is in green, which they don't need to pay two mana to draw a card, right? They can do it by themselves. I think I'm gonna crash a wedding. Actually, we should just build our own board, right? Yeah, I feel like it's just better to build our own board. Zodiac. I wonder if this is a hunter thing, or if this is just an actual person's name. Because it's probably just a person's name, right? But it's kind of similar to the Hunter assassin family name, right? 0. Thank you for this opportunity. If they'd chosen the dog, they'd be fine. I'll admit, I'm a little salty about this card. I'm a little salty. because all the other sagas from this reign are kind of trash. Like, they're not great. Our opponent is thinking over their choices. They might have a removal spell in hand and they're waiting for the perfect time to kill Catilda, but the perfect time to kill Catilda was the moment she hit the battlefield. Like, it's well past the point in time where Catilda should be dealt with, because she's already run amok. Like, she could do something too. She gives you a worse version of Anointed Procession, which Anointed Procession was really good. So even like a worse version of it shouldn't be bad. I need 1 red mana to activate Coco, which would be fine, I guess. Actually, I could dance Pegasus. Draw a card. Well, that actually gonna hopefully draw a card. So we got our red source. We can Jetmir next turn, and then we can show you what the deck's supposed to do. Maybe Jetmir isn't strong enough. Maybe I'm just hyping up because he looks like something that was good, right? That could be the case. Nope. So I want to pay 4 for this, if possible. Take action. Give me a Jetmir. Give me a card. Yeah, double strike.